Hey Dakota, how you doing? Okay, I found our culprit. Okay, so this is set up at 8.5 by 11. I even took this AI file that you sent me and I saved it out as a PDF and it came back by that 9 by whatever it was. I don't remember the exact dimensions. But so I was like, what the heck is going on here? I couldn't quite figure it out. So what I did is I took the original file, I took my selection tool, the black arrow key, and I just came over here and I selected these areas. A marquee selected all the areas outside on all four sides to look for stray points. Nothing there, right? Still baffled. So then I thought to myself, all right, I'm just going to check the document size. And when I did that, here's what I found. I came over to Illustrator, File, came down to Document Setup, and I see you have a 1/2 inch bleed set up on the document setup, which we absolutely don't need in this. And I'll tell you what happens in a second. But in order to see what's happening, if we come over to View, okay, across the top of the screen, come down and select Guides and Show Guides. There's your bleed right there. Okay, that's a 1/2 inch bleed. So what that's doing is that's telling Illustrator that there's going to be images that are going to be placed on the edge of the page, and we want the illustrator to go ahead and print out those areas so that when we go to crop it, those images will be, well, let me show you an example. So let's say we want that image to be a full bleed, right? So we would place it right there, and that bleed guide is telling Illustrator that that's a print area. Okay, so we want that printed so that when we come and crop at 11 by 8.5, we'll come down there and crop that so that that doesn't get that a mistrim won't leave a white spot. Well, you know what a bleed is, right? So that's the culprit there. Okay, and if you're not positive or exactly sure what a bleed is or how it works, just go ahead and do some quick research on setting up a bleed in digital imaging files. And if you need help, let me know. I'll be glad to describe this to you. But again, basically a bleed is just an extended area telling the printer that this area will be printed to accommodate for elements that are placed on the edge of the page. If we don't have a bleed on the edge of the page, okay, and that's telling that that's a no print area, and the print will stop right there at the original document size. If there's a mistrim at all, that area is not printed, so that'll just show white. Okay, and that's the reason for a bleed, and that's your bleed setup right there, 1/2 inch. And when we save out to PDF recognizes that bleed and says, okay, I need to extend the size of the file in order to accommodate the bleed. That's why we got that unusual file size. So just so you know, you wouldn't set up a bleed in a standard Illustrator file. So when we go here, Illustrator File New, that should open in 1 second. My computer is really acting slow today. So here it is, a new document dialog box in Illustrator. And then when we open that, we can see right over here are our bleed settings. Okay, so if you set those to 0 and hit that lock right there, it'll lock all four sides. So just make sure that's set to 0. If you don't want to bleed, set that to 0 and it'll accommodate. Now, if you do want to bleed, make sure you set that up. Okay? All right. Any questions on bleed or what happened here or any of the things that I just covered in the last 3 minutes, let me know. I'll be glad to clarify. All right? Great. Thank you.